Welcome, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. We are back again to Ask Endocrinologist channel. I'm Dr. Grace, and with me is
That's the hope.
Dr. Hope. So, this is our channel. If you are new to us, we are very happy to see you, and we are glad that you are here. We want you to know that you are in the right place where you can ask any questions relating to your health, especially in terms of your hormone, like any medical conditions that involve your hormone. These are very important things that many people ignore, and before you know it, it's already encrypting into their body, and it becomes a chronic medical conditions that they cannot uh, just erase from the body. So our purpose here is to ensure that you prepare your body, you take care of yourself, and you prevent those medical conditions that could lead to worsening chronic conditions. So we are here to take care of diabetes, thyroid hormone, pituitary, your bone health, women's health, and any question you have anytime, you can always ask us. And so you're welcome, everyone. Tell your friend, send this link to your friends and family, and let them know that we are here to ask questions. We are here live for the next 20 minutes. Right, Dr. Hope?
All right. Yes, Dr. Grace, thank you so much. I just wanted to start out with talking about Thanksgiving, because remember last year we talked about uh, just eating healthy around Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving was yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
but we have a lot of leftovers. And we can also work out the extra food that we may have eaten. So, how did you do on Thanksgiving Day? How did you do with your eating? Did you overeat until you were stuffed? Or did you take small portions and, try to uh, do a healthy balance of carbs and vegetables? If you're watching us, let us know. Let us know how you did. How was you? Are you proud of yourself in balancing your diet and managing your portions during Thanksgiving? Um, Let us know in the text, and then something we can talk about. If you did overeat, it's not the end of the world. You can always start over. And remember, in addition to diet, there is exercise too. So you can work it off. So we can talk about just healthy eating and portion control still, even though Thanksgiving has passed, but we have other holidays coming up, like
Yeah,
Christmas, New Year's, and in between. And we know people eat a lot
yeah.
during these holidays.
Yeah. One thing, Dr. Hope, sometimes, it's very hard during Thanksgiving or all the holiday time to actually watch what you eat, because you have many people right there who bring food to your home, and they want you to eat their food. You telling them, no, I'm on diet. No, I'm watching what I eat. Can sometimes, all their feelings and make them feel like, oh, I spent all the time, energy to cook and to bring, and you're telling me no, you know. So I personally, I just eat what they bring.
Yeah,
And
but
tell myself, today is not going to harm me. I'm just going to eat and enjoy the day.
yeah. And there might be a lot of different options to choose from. So what you could do is just eat a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, and
You
that's
don't
why
have
I like what you said
yeah,
about the
yeah,
portion control.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. All right, good. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving and we wanna try, all the dishes, and we're like, okay, one day, one day. But yeah, we can still watch it by eating, trying the different desserts and meals and appetizers, but we don't have to take large portions of everything. We can take small portions of everything so people are satisfied that, yeah, you know what? I did try your candied yams, or
Yeah,
I did try your macaroni and cheese. Um, Along with your green bean casserole and other things, but yeah, I only had a small portion, so that it wouldn't affect you in such negative way, but we want to make eating healthy and good portion control a lifestyle, right? So that's one way we could do it by watching
Yes,
our
yes,
portions.
yes. Especially when you are getting to certain age group, you don't just want to eat everything that comes to your plate. You want to be mindful of what you are eating.
Right,
Because you want to stay healthy. You want
right,
to
right.
maintain that healthy, balanced diet and rejuvenate. You want to rejuvenate your skin, your internal organs, and
Yeah,
everything that you've been doing. You want to make sure you keep them growing young. And you just want to be careful of what you actually see on your plate and eat. You know.
that's right. So even if you eat everything on the holidays, you don't do it every day, right?
Yes,
Thanksgiving,
exactly.
right? So like you may take a lot of everything on the holidays, but then go back to if you have to eat everything on those days, go back to just eating healthier. With As we have for the diabetic plate, you can actually use that for non-diabetics as well, right? Half the
Yeah,
plate is supposed to be vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter carbohydrate. So
yeah,
we can use that rule in choosing
yeah.
our diet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just a gentle reminder, if you are new to our channel, we want you to like, subscribe to our channel so you can have more information as the days goes by. And if you have any question, please go to the chat box and put your questions there. We are reading it live and we can answer your questions right away. So do not wait until this conversation is over. Any questions you have, just drop it in there. We are here to help you. Remember, the more you know, the better you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to go back to let's talk about something that we talked about uh last year. For me
Okay.
personally, I was gonna do that marathon, right? So I didn't do it
Hmm.
last year, but I
Yeah.
did start my training again this year. So let's see how it goes this year.
Oh, great.
Um, so the Peloton, which I have Peloton treadmill, they have a actually it's even an outdoor, so you don't need the treadmill to do this. But they have a marathon training program, part 1, 2, and 3. So I actually started it yesterday, part 1. So it's a 6 week. The first one is 6 weeks. Each of them, I guess, is 6 weeks. So it's all 18-week program altogether, and you exercise like 6 days a week. So cheer me on and encourage me because I'm going to try to do it this year. And I started next year, but 6 days a week running is a lot for me. I know people do it normally. um, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to train for it and then join uh, the Roadrunners Club, New York Roadrunners, where that's one way of gaining entrance into the New York City Marathon. You can do 9+1, so you would have to do 9+1. So you have to do 9 mini marathons and
Hmm.
volunteer for one marathon. All right, so
It could be,
mhm,
yeah, it could be hard doing this thing because why? If you do not have discipline,
yeah,
you realize you're just setting goals and you are not achieving anything. Because it's very easy for us to make goals and say, you know what, by January 2025, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'll
yeah,
make sure I wake up every morning to
mhm,
run around the neighborhood or to run on a treadmill or to even join
yeah,
membership club with the
yeah,
gymming thing. But you
yeah,
know, it takes a lot of effort to put
yeah,
yourself on the track and
yeah,
say, you know what, I've decided I'm going to be doing exercise and I want to be committed to it, you know. And I think it's best to, to put someone to inform someone that that can check on you and
mhm,
say, hey, did you do that exercise today? You haven't
mhm,
been doing your exercise. You said you're gonna do it, but I don't see you eating the goal. Or you could just create a calendar whereby anytime you do, you give yourself a good mark, a star,
right,
and you just say, okay, you did. It's a lot of effort to put in, but it's always
Yeah,
good when you
that's
can
right.
exercise.
Yeah, so we see as Dr. Grace is talking about, we see that the end of the year is approaching, and this is the time, right, that we start making those New Year's resolutions. So
Yeah.
it's almost December 1st, and if you are going to make a New Year's resolution and plan, um, it's good to be intentional about it, because we don't want to be one of those people that start out, January 1st with that New Year's resolution, very excited, and by January 31st, we're done.
Yep.
So make sustainable goals, like realistic sustainable goals. So if you're going to run, walk, or whatever you choose to do as maybe exercise, maybe you can't do 6 days a week, but you could commit to 2 to 3 days a week. So try to make realistic goals for something that's reasonable, like 30 minutes, 3 days a week, or maybe 4 days a week of some type of intense exercise. And as Dr. Grace said, you don't have to do running like I do, but you could walk, you could swim. Some people love swimming.
Yep.
Yep, you could do cycling, spinning, even dance aerobics, Zumba, all dance classes. There's so many ways we can get moving more. And some people go on the elliptical, just, many ways to keep moving. But in addition to that, strength training is key. It's very important. It actually goes a long way, and it's sustained. The effect of the strength training is sustained a while. So what does that mean? Maybe lifting some type of light weight, 3 to 5 pounds. If you haven't done it before, you can start off with and just doing hand raises or leg lifts. You can use the machines in the gym, or if you're not a member of a gym, your body weight is a good thing to help you, strengthen your muscles. You can do push-ups, sit-ups. If you don't have weights, you can use maybe like a bottle or something to just kind of add some weight to get your strength training in. So yeah, remember to add strength training as well as aerobic exercises to your
Yeah. That I like the fact that you put that point out there, strength training. Most of the time we think, we just need to do is run, jog, swim, and forgetting that even we as female, you also have to do some muscle strengthening, and because this is not only for your muscle but also for our bone density. So it's important, that we do this muscle strengthening, and you just lift the weight, and help to it's not to build the muscle only, but to strengthen your bone density, your bone mineral density. Yeah.
Good point. Speaking of bone mineral density, of bones, so as endocrinologists, we just always reiterate the importance of having healthy bones. So what are some of the additional ways you can have healthy bones? But definitely your diet. Diet is key to a lot of things, right, Dr. Grace?
Yeah,
So,
some people say what you eat is what you are,
right. Yeah.
So you want to be careful what you eat and eat healthy, like we said.
And include calcium and vitamin D in your diet. So those are very important for bone health, right? Having a natural source is the best way. So like eating it in your food. So like milk, yogurt have high levels of calcium. The dairy, right? Milk, yogurt.
Yes.
And vitamin D, you can get vitamin D from just being outside in the sun, but also making sure you balance that, taking care of your skin and not getting sunburned, or not letting the sun damage your skin. So you have to balance that. So but we can have forms of vitamin D as supplements as well, instead of in addition to getting sun exposure.
Yeah.
So yeah, so calcium and vitamin D, at least 1,200 milligrams of calcium, and at least they say 800 to 1,000 international units of vitamin D daily is what's needed to help prevent osteoporosis,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And
And what exactly is this osteoporosis
right,
that we're talking about?
right.
You want to be sure that okay, because we doctors we speak a lot of medical terminologies, and sometimes we think we are speaking in the regular English, but it's not. You know, so the osteoporosis is when your bones are weak.
Right.
Your, because our bone has density. It's
Mhm.
densely compact, and when the bone becomes weak, or when there is osteoporosis, it becomes loosely packed instead of densely packed. Then it becomes loosely packed, and when it's become loosely packed, it's at risk of breakage. It can easily break or crack. You don't want that. So you want your bone to be continuing to be densely packed. So you have to feed it
Mhm.
nutrients. Feed it
Mhm.
with the calcium, feed it with
Mhm.
the vitamin D.
Mhm.
Vitamin D, it's best to get on the streets outside your home. But many of us we work indoor, remotely indoor, everything indoor, and then you realize you're not getting exposed to the sun.
That's right.
Or maybe when you even eventually have the time to get exposed to the sun, you are outside in the heat. You know,
Mhm.
uh, the best time to get the real and the good vitamin D is around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And at least stay up to like 30 minutes to get to the point where you feel the heat slightly, not to the burn, not to the burn heat, but
Mhm.
slightly. You know,
Mhm.
but most of the time around that time, most of us are indoor. We are
That's
doing
right.
one or two things. So, like Dr. Hope said, supplement with vitamin
Mhm.
D. Supplement it, and that way you still keep your vitamin D level, maintained.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Dr. Grace.
Yeah, and we also screen, because nonetheless, at a certain age, you have to get yourself screened. You know,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
have to screen yourself to ensure you don't have vitamin D deficiency, or you don't have osteoporosis. You
Right.
know,
And that's done with a bone density. So
yeah,
make sure you ask your doctor, are you in need of a bone density? Postmenopausal women are
hmm,
at higher risk of osteoporosis. So definitely as a postmenopausal woman, you
yeah,
should get a bone density. They usually do hip and spine as a screening and to identify thinning of the bones or osteoporosis. But men are also at risk of getting osteoporosis as well. So that's something that we need to consider, and people should be evaluated for it. What are some of the risk factors for osteoporosis, Dr. Gray? So,
yeah.
uh-huh.
So before we go into there is a question in the box. I just want to
Okay.
bring it to your attention. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone says, Dr. Hope, you mentioned milk for calcium, but what if it is someone's who got belly and feels drinking milk will add to the belly weight? Um, so I don't know if you understand the question. I
Yeah,
think,
I guess maybe they have just increased abdominal fat, right? I guess, and
yeah, something like that. I think
yeah, so
probably when you drink more milk,
yeah,
you're going to have more belly.
and
Your
bloating. Sometimes milk can cause bloating. So, there are many people that are lactose intolerant too, which could contribute to that. So, one of the ways to circumvent that is by drinking milk that doesn't have lactate, right? So,
yeah,
lactate-free milk, lactose-free milk, and also almond milk. They also, some of those other sources of milk are fortified with calcium as well. So that's another way. You can use other sources of calcium in addition to milk. Like if milk causes bloating for you, that may not
hmm,
be the source of calcium for you. So you can use
yeah,
another source. And if really you're extremely affected by this, you could, although the foods are the primary source, you can use other sources of calcium, including the supplements. We don't, supplements. It's if you don't get it in your diet, but Um, you can use other sources of calcium. There's orange juice that's fortified with calcium as well. There's some vegetables, some green vegetables that have calcium. So yeah, you can use other sources of calcium in addition to the milk, and you can always use supplements as a last resort.
Yes.
Anything you want to add that? Want to add to that?
Well, you said it all. Absolutely. It's just that don't because you are afraid of having a big belly and you deprive yourself of eating the right milk. So there are multiple choices out there, as Dr. Pope said, of the kind of milk. A lot of people are aware that milk can give them trouble. So those companies are creating different products,
Right.
different products with what they think will be beneficial. So just look for the right products that works best for you.
Yep. So what are some additional sources of calcium? Kale. Kale is a good source of calcium. Well, the yogurt is milk as well, but it is, a source. Other greens like bok choy, you can cook it, season it. So that's another source. Broccoli is a good source of calcium. So you don't have to, rely on milk. Some canned seafood are good sources of calcium as well. Hard cheese, which again could be milk. Turnip greens, other sources of calcium. Cottage cheese, again, milk. Oranges is another source, are other sources of calcium. Yeah. So seeds, like different types of seeds, are good sources of calcium as well. Collard greens. So a lot of the green vegetables are good sources of calcium. So that's another way that you can get the calcium in if the milk is causes bloating or weight gain or stomach discomfort for you. So thank you for that question. That's a great question.
So it doesn't have to be milk. It can be anything. Any other food that is not milk. If milk doesn't settle well with you. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be wrapping up here. We want to limit it to 20 minutes, but we have exceeded 20 minutes. But back to the question you were asking about other risk factors for osteoporosis.
Oh, yeah. So some of the risk factors for osteoporosis are just, believe it or not, being too thin, right?
Or even age, just being
age.
Whether you're a female and you're growing, so you are reaching that age of 65, you're reaching that age of 66, 67. You have to watch, you have to make sure you are being screened if you're a woman. And why? Actually, it's because of our hormone. Everything still goes to you, because as a woman, by the time you're in your menopausal age, your estrogen level, which is very good for the bone, it's already been deprived and decreased. So you don't have enough estrogen like a young woman, and you want to be careful, to make sure that you don't have to supplement to optimize your bone density, because that alone can just make your bone weak. And like you said, to hope even men, as they age, testosterone level, which is a very good thing to have the bone, it's also going down or not enough, and you see adults falling. They say, oh, elderly person fell, or she just twisted her ankle and the bone is broken, or she just was in the kitchen and she was trying to lift something from the cabinet and boom, the bone is broken. And you break big bones, not even the small bones, the hip, the big thigh bones, So you want to make sure that as you age, you are very conscious or conversant that, you have to be careful with that. That's one of the risk factors.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Even alcohol, drinking alcohol is a risk factor for osteoporosis. It can cause thinning of the bones. Alcohol, smoking, again, are risk factors for osteoporosis. So definitely those are habits that we should stay away from when we are looking into taking care of our bones and managing our bones and strengthening our bones. So Yeah. So those are some of the risk factors for osteoporosis.
Yep, yep. And you were saying the weight, our weight size. You know,
Yeah.
the bigger you are, the more protected your bone is.
Yes. Yes.
Because the flesh is there to protect it, the muscles are there to protect it and prevent it from breaking. So the bones are fully padded, but you are
Yeah.
thin, you know,
Yeah.
and not really like thin, but very you are underweight. Let's say,
Underweight. That's
yeah,
right.
you're
Yeah.
underweight. Your BMI is less than 18.5. You
Yeah.
know, you are you might be prone to breaking your bone.
Yeah.
So you
But
want to
that's
make
not
sure
an excuse to be overweight, right?
exactly. I was like, now people would think,
They're
okay,
like,
then let me be
oh,
overweight and
yeah,
protect my
maybe I
bone.
should be overweight to protect my bones. No.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're too much, if you're overweight too much, if you're obese or if you're very heavy, you can get bone like osteoarthritis, right? So many
Yes.
people, because they're overweight, they get arthritis and pain in the joints of the bone. So
Mhm.
definitely there are other risks associated with that. So we should be normal weight, right? That's what our aim is.
Yes. Yes.
Not underweight, not overweight,
No,
but normal
exactly.
weight.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's been a great time here today again. Thank you for joining us all. We appreciate you coming out to ask your questions, interact. You know, there are some interaction question, not even question, just a comment when Dr. Hope was talking about the exercise and the thing. And the comment was intentionality is the key, you know, that you have to be intentional about what you're doing, and you have to know that you're no longer a baby. You want to make sure you take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. You can't just ignore that part, you know.
That's right.
So thank you all for joining us. Share this link with people who are not present with us live. We can still go over the questions in the comment section. If anyone still have questions, don't hesitate to put in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to Ask Endocrinologists.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. And we hope you all have a pleasant weekend.
Yes, enjoy your holiday weekend, your Thanksgiving weekend, for those of you
Yes.
watching us in the United States.
Yeah.